Hi. Imagine this. You paid 75 lakhs in cash for a property. You have an agreement in your hand. And still, the Honorable Supreme Court tells you you have no legal right at all. Not even the right to stop someone else from using that property. Sounds shocking? Let's understand why. In this video, I'll explain a very important Supreme Court judgment. In RBANMS Educational Institution versus V. Gunashekar Anr, the Honorable Supreme Court made it clear. This case clearly answers a crucial legal question. Does an agreement to sell give you ownership rights? The facts are simple but very important. A well-established educational trust was in possession of a property for many years. On the other hand, the respondents claimed that they had entered into an agreement to purchase the said property. The total deal was worth crores, and they had already paid an amount of 75 lakhs rupees in cash as an advance. Based on this, they approached the court and filed a suit for injunction. They wanted the court to restrain the trust from dealing with the property. And now the core legal issue. What is the core legal issue? Let's see. Now the main question before the court was, can a person claim legal rights over a property just on the basis of an agreement? And the second is, and can such a person file a case against someone who is not even a party of that agreement? The Honorable Supreme Court examined the matter step by step. Number 1, the agreement to sell does not create ownership. The court referred to Section 54 of the Transfer of Property Act. It clearly states an agreement to sell does not create any ownership right or interest in the property. It is only a promise that a sale may happen in the future. So the court made it clear. You do not become the owner just because you have an agreement. The second analysis is no privity of contract. The agreement was not made with the educational institution. It was made with some other parties. So legally there was no direct relationship between the plaintiff and the trust. So the court held that you cannot file a case against a person who is not a party to your contract. And the third is injunction without legal rights is not maintainable. The plaintiff were neither the owner of the property nor in possession of it. In such a situation, asking for injunction makes no legal sense. Now, what court had emphasized here? Injunction is a relief to protect an existing right, not to create a new one. Cash transactions of 75 lakhs, the fourth important analysis. Another serious issue was the payment of 75 lakhs in cash. Such a transaction violates provisions of the Income Tax Act, which restrict large cash dealings. The court viewed that illegal transactions cannot be foundation of legal right. The Supreme Court states that the inferior courts are required to inform the income tax departments if there is any suit is filed before the court and the amount exceeds 2 lakhs rupees. They must inform the jurisdictional income tax departments. And the fifth is rejection of plaint. Finally, the court examined whether the case should be even continue. It found that there was no real cause of action. The claim itself was legally flawed. So, instead of allowing a full trial, the court applied Order 7, Rule 11 of the CPC and rejected the plaint at the very beginning. And now, let's talk about the final judgment of the Honorable Supreme Court. The court allowed the appeal. It set aside the earlier orders of the lower courts and held that the suit is not maintainable, the plaint is rejected, and the third is no trial is required. This judgment gives some very important lessons. The first is an agreement to sell does not give you ownership rights. You cannot sue someone who is not party to your contract. And third, Injunction cannot be granted without a legal right or possession. Large cash transactions can seriously damage your case. Courts have the power to reject weak cases as at initial stage. So always remember, in property law, having a document is not enough. You must have a legally enforceable right. Otherwise, even a case worth crores can be dismissed in seconds.